So there's a ton of reasons why so many people are flocking to the Raleigh, North Carolina area. Abundant jobs, rapid, crazy, explosive growth, and a ton of future potential. But for some people, Raleigh, North Carolina is just not a really good fit. On today's video, we're going to tell you some of the reasons why some people are leaving Raleigh, North Carolina, so you can be sure Raleigh is a good fit for you should you be planning to move here. So why would anyone want to leave Raleigh, North Carolina? Considering we have recently been named the #6 best place to live by US News & World Report, and that is actually fairly low ranking. Most years we're ranked number 1 or 2. And also Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina were both ranked number 21 fastest growing cities in the entire US, again by US News & World Report. So why would someone be moving out? Well, one of the reasons is cost of living. A lot of people moved to Raleigh when it was a small to medium-sized town and the average cost of a home was around $200,000. Now, several years later, the population of Raleigh has exploded and the average cost of a home is $445,000. So you can imagine those folks that moved here and bought a $200,000 house. Well, maybe they've outgrown that house. Maybe their kids are growing up and getting bigger and teenagers now. Maybe they've gotten a job promotion and they're looking to upgrade and get a bigger house. Well, unfortunately now with prices going up and up and up, coupled with interest rates, it may be an affordability issue for some people to live in Raleigh at this point. So this leads a good number of people to pack up from Raleigh and move to a smaller city where they can get more bang for their buck and get a bigger house for less money. Another reason people are leaving Raleigh? For a quieter lifestyle. So we hear from a good number of people that come to us in our real estate business asking us to help them sell their home. They want to move from Raleigh to a smaller suburb around Raleigh for a slower, little bit quieter pace of life. Now, I don't want anyone out there to think Raleigh, North Carolina is equivalent to New York City with the hustle and bustle, but for some people that want a quieter, slower pace of life, Raleigh is a bit of a hustle and bustle. For some people, Raleigh is just growing too fast for their taste. The good news is if you fall in this category of someone who wants to have a little bit of a quieter lifestyle, there are a ton of suburbs and cities around Raleigh that will give you that slower pace of lifestyle. And best of all, most of the suburbs and cities around Raleigh have very, very easy access to be able to come into Raleigh for all of the things like Trader Joe's, Costco, any kind of shopping you want to do, the new RH Gallery. Did I mention the new RH Gallery? All kinds of really cool stuff that are in Raleigh that you don't necessarily have to live in Raleigh to enjoy and experience. The city of Wendell is a great example of this. You can live in Wendell, especially Wendell Falls, the mega neighborhood by Newland Companies out of California, have a wonderful quality of life, have some great neighbors, have great amenities right there in the neighborhood and right nearby in the commercial center. And best of all, you can be in downtown Raleigh in 15 to 20 minutes. So if you like to catch a Broadway style play or enjoy a really great meal at one of the downtown restaurants, you can live in Wendell Falls or in Wendell in general, have that quieter pace of life and be able to experience all that downtown Raleigh has to offer in only a matter of minutes. Another great example of this is Holly Springs, North Carolina. You can live in Holly Springs, be in Raleigh in about 30 minutes, be in Cary in about 20 to 30 minutes, get all of the advantages of these larger cities and still be able to experience that wonderful quality of life that everyone that lives in Holly Springs has grown to love. And of course, again, there's many other suburbs that fit this category. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to help find the ideal suburb for you that mixes both that quality of life, quiet quality of life, and easy access to Raleigh or anywhere else in the Triangle. The next reason some people are leaving Raleigh, North Carolina, the changing culture. So we mentioned before that Raleigh has experienced a growth spurt recently. Lots of people are moving in, which means the culture has become quite a hodgepodge here in Raleigh. For some people that have lived in Raleigh for their entire lives, this rapid change has been very jarring and very unexpected, and they're just not comfortable with it. Raleigh tends to attract people from all over the country and really all over the world. And one of the things that people very much are attracted to, beyond the job opportunities, is the Southern hospitality, the quality of life you can experience in Raleigh, and in general, how nice people are here. In fact, we get people every day calling us after watching our videos, wanting us to help them buy a house in Raleigh. And one of the reasons they're so attracted to Raleigh beyond the job growth is because they want to be part of our Southern culture and experience our Southern hospitality. But we've also seen a change in this culture over the last few years. People are more likely to honk at red lights. People tend to talk loudly in public, even when they're facing someone head on. Just generally less polite behavior that any city would experience that is growing rapidly. And some of you may be laughing when I say Raleigh is getting crowded, especially if you're coming from a bigger city like Los Angeles, San Francisco, or New York, or Seattle, or Dallas. Raleigh may not feel crowded at all. But if you've lived in Raleigh all your life, or 10, 20, 30 years, Raleigh's growth could be a bit jarring and really something you're not really comfortable experiencing. And perhaps a little known fact, if you're not from the South, not from North Carolina, most Southerners and North Carolinians especially want our personal space. We don't want someone right on top of us. I can think of a time recently I was in line at, I think, Cava, and a lady was talking with her friend loudly, and she was maybe 6 inches from me in the line, and there was no reason for her to be. She didn't think anything of it, but I was very uncomfortable having been born and raised in North Carolina. It freaked me out a little bit. And so you can imagine if you're from this area and people are kind of smushed up on you for no reason at all, because that's part of wherever they've come from, it may make you second guess whether Raleigh is the city for you. Another reason people are leaving Raleigh, the traffic. Now, we have traffic jams in Raleigh, but certainly nothing like what you would experience in one of the big cities. But that being said, the traffic here could be quite a bit frustrating if you've, again, lived here for a number of years. The good news is that a section of Interstate 540 has just been completed, which is going to help free up a lot of traffic problems that we're experiencing in the area, especially for people who live in South Raleigh. Again, traffic is not that bad here, but it is definitely a reason why some long-term residents are choosing to move out of Raleigh. Another reason people are leaving Raleigh, to be closer to the beach. So one of the main reasons people move into Raleigh, beyond the job opportunities and all the awesome stuff we have here, is the close proximity to the beach. And for some people, they decide that a 2-hour drive is just too long for them. I know this sounds crazy, but imagine a 2-hour drive one way and then a few hours hanging out at the beach, maybe getting lunch, and then a 2-hour drive back. That's literally the entire day. For those of us that grew up on the coast that are used to a 20-minute, 30-minute drive to the beach, that could be a big deal. And so if you are someone who can work from home, maybe you have a virtual job, or maybe you've retired, living in Raleigh may be very inconvenient if you really like the feeling of sand between your toes. Another reason people are leaving Raleigh, their allergies. So North Carolina in general is a hot and humid state. We have lots of beautiful trees and plants, but with those trees and plants comes pollen. For many people here in the Raleigh area, myself included, pollen season happens twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. You have about 2 weeks of awfulness in the fall and 2 weeks of awfulness in the spring. This results in you scrambling to grab your Claritin to get it all under control. You're miserable for a couple of weeks and then luckily it subsides. But then there are some people where the symptoms are much more severe and they need to move to a different climate than what you're going to find in North Carolina and here in Raleigh. The next reason people may choose to move out of Raleigh, retirement. So Raleigh, North Carolina is one of the best places in the entire country to retire to. But that doesn't mean that everybody wants to retire in Raleigh. So one of the primary reasons someone may choose to retire somewhere else is the cost of housing that we talked about earlier. Plus, some people may appreciate a warmer climate like you could find in South Carolina or Georgia or Florida, or maybe move to a less crowded area, one of the suburbs around Raleigh or somewhere else in the state. Another reason people may be leaving Raleigh, job opportunities. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Raleigh has one of the best job markets in the country, some of the best job opportunities anywhere around. However, there are a lot of people who move to Raleigh for a great job opportunity, or maybe they were in college here and stayed and have started their career, and maybe some awesome job has come along in Timbuktu or some other city around somewhere else. And so for that reason, some people are leaving Raleigh and moving to other places. Another reason people are leaving Raleigh to go home. So as I mentioned before, lots of people come here for college and they stay and they start their career. We have tons of amazing universities here in our area, including UNC Chapel Hill, Duke University, NC State University, Meredith, Peace, Shaw, NC Central, and the list goes on and on and on. So again, people move here to go to school. They may start a career, get a job, but then they inevitably get homesick and decide they want to move back to wherever they're from. So it's quite natural for people to leave Raleigh to move back home to be closer to family. Another reason people leave Raleigh, they have a desire for change. So even though so many people love living in Raleigh, love everything there is to see and do and experience in Raleigh, for some people, they decide they need to move away from Raleigh to make a change in their lives. And again, one of the reasons people leave Raleigh, we've already talked about it a bit ago, is they are retiring. One of the big negatives about Raleigh is that if you are wanting a luxurious house with a lot of great finishes, unfortunately, most homes in the Raleigh area that fit that bill are large 4, 5, 6, 7, 10,000 square foot houses. And so if you're looking to downsize, but you still want those finishes that you find in a 8,000 square foot house, it's going to be very difficult to find that in Raleigh. And sometimes some people decide the best thing to do is move away to find that smaller home with all of the awesome finishes in another city. Or again, maybe retirees are wanting to move to the beach. We talked about being at the beach a bit ago. Maybe they want to move there or into a more rural area. So they want to exchange the fast-paced lifestyle they've had here in Raleigh for a quieter lifestyle in one of the smaller towns and cities in North Carolina or in the surrounding states. And as well, there are people that are still working that haven't retired that have decided they want to trade land for location. And what I mean by that, of course, is they want a bigger lot, they want a bigger house on a bigger lot. Instead of what they can get in Raleigh, they decide to go to a smaller town or one of the suburbs around Raleigh to experience that. They want to make a change in their lives, to have a bigger house, bigger lot, and so they leave Raleigh to accomplish that. Another reason people might leave Raleigh, for greener pastures. So we've already said Raleigh is a very go city. Great opportunity, but it may not be quite the go-go city that you're looking for, and you need to live somewhere else that's in a bigger city like, say, New York City or Los Angeles or whatever. Or maybe you're looking for tropical climate like you would find in Miami or around Miami and Florida. So these places may appeal to you, and it may make you decide you need to leave Raleigh. One of the things we found, however, is a lot of the people that have left Raleigh to move to Florida or move to New York or wherever have decided to change their mind and move back. We've in fact had quite a few clients where we've helped them sell their house a few years back. They move away to another city, call us and say, hey, we've made a mistake. We've changed our mind. Can you help us buy back into Raleigh? So that does happen as well. So if you've decided to leave Raleigh or you're wanting to move into Raleigh or one of the suburbs, contact us at the information below. We would be more than happy to help you out. Check out this video. We think you're really going to like this one as well. And of course, like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.